Welcome to Vorldrevolution. Dear friends, today we will share summary and example from the book Scarcity, Why Having Too Little Means So Much by Sendhil Mullainathan. Chapter 1 Overview. Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir delve into the profound effects of scarcity on human behavior and decision-making. The book opens with a compelling narrative that sets the stage for understanding the concept of scarcity and its pervasive impact. Imagine a world where every decision you make is overshadowed by a pressing need. This is the reality for many individuals living under conditions of scarcity. Mullainathan and Shafir illustrate this through various examples, one of which is the famous Minnesota starvation experiment conducted during World War II. In this study, volunteers were subjected to severe caloric restriction to understand the effects of starvation. The physical toll was evident, but what intrigued Mullainathan was the psychological impact. The participants became obsessed with food, their thoughts consumed by it to the exclusion of almost everything else. This obsession illustrates how scarcity captures the mind, narrowing focus and limiting cognitive bandwidth. The authors extend this concept to modern-day scenarios, such as poverty. They argue that scarcity of resources, whether it be time, money, or food, creates a similar psychological effect. For instance, a person living in poverty is constantly preoccupied with making ends meet. This preoccupation can lead to a phenomenon known as tunneling, where the individual focuses intensely on immediate needs at the expense of long-term planning and broader goals. This tunnel vision can result in decisions that seem irrational from an outside perspective but are perfectly logical within the context of scarcity. One poignant example the authors provide is that of a single mother juggling multiple jobs to support her family. Her day is a series of urgent tasks: getting the kids to school, working long hours, managing household chores. In this state of constant urgency, she might neglect important but non-urgent tasks like saving for the future or attending to her health. This neglect is not due to a lack of understanding but rather a lack of mental bandwidth. The cognitive load of managing scarcity leaves little room for anything else. Mullainathan and Shafir also explore how scarcity affects organizations and societies. They discuss how companies operating under tight budgets might cut corners in ways that are detrimental in the long run. Similarly, governments facing budget constraints might underfund essential services, leading to a cycle of scarcity that perpetuates itself. The narrative in Scarcity is rich with empirical research and real-world examples, making the abstract concept of scarcity tangible and relatable. By weaving together stories of individuals and communities, Mullainathan and Shafir highlight the universal nature of scarcity and its profound impact on human behavior. This understanding is crucial for developing policies and interventions that address the root causes of scarcity rather than just its symptoms. Chapter 2 The Nature of Scarcity. Sendhil explore the profound and often hidden impacts of scarcity on human behavior and decision-making. The nature of scarcity is illustrated through a series of compelling narratives and examples that reveal how having less of something, whether it be time, money, or food, can drastically alter our cognitive processes and actions. One of the most striking examples the authors discuss is the concept of tunneling. Imagine a farmer in India who is struggling to make ends meet. His focus is intensely narrowed on the immediate need to secure enough water for his crops. This urgent need consumes his thoughts, leaving little room for long-term planning or other important tasks. This phenomenon, known as tunneling, occurs because scarcity forces the mind to prioritize immediate concerns over future ones. The farmer might neglect maintenance of his equipment or fail to plan for next season's crops, leading to a cycle of ongoing scarcity. Another powerful example is the story of a busy executive who is constantly juggling multiple tasks. Her schedule is packed with meetings, deadlines, and urgent emails. This scarcity of time leads her to focus only on the most pressing tasks, often at the expense of strategic planning or personal well-being. The authors describe this as a bandwidth tax, where the cognitive load of managing scarcity reduces mental capacity for other important activities. This executive might miss opportunities for professional growth or neglect her health, further exacerbating the effects of scarcity. Mullainathan and Shafir also delve into the psychological effects of financial scarcity. They recount the story of a single mother who is living paycheck to paycheck. Her constant worry about money leads to a state of chronic stress, which impairs her ability to make sound financial decisions. This stress-induced cognitive overload can result in behaviors such as taking out high-interest loans or neglecting to save for emergencies. The authors explain that this is not a matter of poor judgment but rather a consequence of the mental strain caused by financial scarcity. The book also highlights how scarcity can create a vicious cycle. For instance, a person who is short on money might borrow to cover immediate expenses, leading to debt. The debt then creates additional financial pressure, further limiting the person's ability to make sound financial decisions. This cycle of scarcity and debt can be difficult to break, as each instance of scarcity compounds the next. Through these narratives, Mullainathan and Shafir illustrate that the nature of scarcity is not just about having less but about how having less affects our minds and behaviors. Scarcity captures our attention, narrows our focus, and taxes our cognitive resources, often leading to decisions that perpetuate the very scarcity we are trying to escape. Understanding this can help in designing better policies and interventions that address the root causes of scarcity rather than just its symptoms. Chapter 3: The Advantages of Scarcity. Sendhil, Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir explore not only the challenges but also the unexpected advantages that scarcity can bring. Through a series of insightful examples, they illustrate how scarcity can sharpen focus and drive efficiency, albeit often at a cost. One of the key advantages of scarcity highlighted in the book is the heightened focus it can induce. Imagine a student who has procrastinated and now has only one night to study for an important exam. The scarcity of time forces the student to concentrate intensely on the most critical material, ignoring distractions and less important topics. This intense focus, driven by the urgent need to succeed, can lead to surprisingly effective study sessions. The authors refer to this phenomenon as focus dividend, where the pressure of scarcity channels all available cognitive resources towards the task at hand. Another compelling example is that of dieters who are trying to lose weight. When food is scarce, dieters become highly attuned to their eating habits and food choices. This scarcity mindset can lead to more disciplined eating patterns and better adherence to dietary goals. The authors note that while this intense focus on food can sometimes lead to unhealthy obsessions, it can also result in significant weight loss and improved health outcomes. Scarcity can also drive innovation and creativity. Consider a small startup with limited financial resources. The scarcity of funds forces the team to think creatively and find cost-effective solutions to problems. This constraint can lead to innovative products and services that might not have emerged in a resource-rich environment. Mullainathan and Shafir provide examples of companies that have thrived under such conditions, using their limited resources as a catalyst for innovation. In the realm of time management, scarcity can lead to greater efficiency. A busy executive with a packed schedule might become adept at prioritizing tasks and delegating responsibilities. The scarcity of time forces the executive to focus on what truly matters, cutting through the noise and eliminating non-essential activities. This ability to prioritize and manage time effectively can lead to higher productivity and better outcomes. The authors also discuss how scarcity can foster resilience and adaptability. Individuals who regularly face scarcity learn to cope with challenges and develop strategies to manage their limited resources. This resilience can be a valuable asset in both personal and professional contexts, enabling individuals to navigate difficult situations with greater ease and confidence. Through these narratives, Mullainathan and Shafir illustrate that while scarcity often imposes significant challenges, it can also bring about positive outcomes by sharpening focus, driving innovation, and fostering resilience. Understanding these advantages can help individuals and organizations leverage scarcity to their benefit, turning constraints into opportunities for growth and success. Chapter 4: The Adverse Effects of Scarcity. Sendhil, Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir delve into the adverse effects of scarcity, illustrating how it can profoundly impact our cognitive functions and decision-making processes. Through vivid narratives and empirical research, they reveal how scarcity can trap individuals in a cycle of poor choices and diminished mental capacity. One of the most compelling examples the authors discuss is the concept of the bandwidth tax. Imagine a single mother working multiple jobs to support her family. Her days are filled with urgent tasks, getting the kids to school, working long hours, managing household chores. This constant juggling act leaves her with little mental bandwidth to focus on anything beyond immediate needs. The cognitive load of managing scarcity taxes her mental resources, leading to impaired decision-making and reduced ability to plan for the future. This bandwidth tax can result in missed opportunities, such as not being able to pursue further education or career advancement, which perpetuates the cycle of scarcity. Another striking example is the phenomenon of tunneling. Consider a small business owner who is struggling to keep his business afloat. The scarcity of financial resources forces him to focus intensely on immediate cash flow issues, often at the expense of long-term strategic planning. This tunnel vision can lead to decisions that are detrimental in the long run, such as cutting essential investments or neglecting customer relationships. The authors explain that this myopic focus is a direct consequence of scarcity, which narrows the individual's attention to pressing concerns, leaving little room for broader considerations. Mullainathan and Shafir also explore the psychological toll of scarcity through the story of a sugarcane farmer in India. Before the harvest, the farmer experiences financial scarcity, leading to high levels of stress and anxiety. This stress impairs his cognitive functions, making it difficult for him to make sound financial decisions. After the harvest, when the farmer has more money, his cognitive performance improves significantly. This example illustrates how scarcity can create a vicious cycle, the stress and cognitive load of having too little impaired decision-making, which in turn exacerbates the scarcity. The authors further highlight the adverse effects of scarcity on health. They recount the story of a eater who is constantly preoccupied with thoughts of food. This preoccupation, driven by the scarcity of calories, can lead to unhealthy eating behaviors and a heightened focus on food to the exclusion of other important aspects of life. The mental strain of dieting can also reduce self-control, making it harder to resist temptations and stick to the diet, ultimately undermining the individual's health goals. Through these narratives, Mullainathan and Shafir demonstrate that the adverse effects of scarcity are not just about having less but about how having less affects our minds and behaviors. Scarcity captures our attention, taxes our cognitive resources, and narrows our focus, often leading to decisions that perpetuate the very scarcity we are trying to escape. Understanding these effects is crucial for developing policies and interventions that address the root causes of scarcity rather than just its symptoms. Chapter 5: How to Reduce the Effects of Scarcity. Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir offer several strategies to mitigate the adverse effects of scarcity. These strategies are illustrated through compelling narratives that highlight practical ways to manage and reduce the cognitive load imposed by scarcity. One of the key strategies discussed is the importance of creating slack or buffers in our lives. Imagine a busy professional who is constantly overwhelmed by deadlines and urgent tasks. By intentionally building slack into her schedule, such as setting aside time for breaks or unexpected tasks, she can reduce the cognitive load and improve her overall productivity. This buffer allows her to handle unforeseen challenges without becoming overwhelmed, thereby reducing the mental strain caused by scarcity. The authors emphasize that even small amounts of slack can make a significant difference in managing the effects of scarcity. Another effective approach is the use of reminders and external aids to manage cognitive load. Consider a single parent who is juggling multiple responsibilities. By using tools like calendars, to-do lists, and alarms, he can offload some of the mental burden of remembering tasks and deadlines. These external aids help to free up cognitive resources, allowing him to focus more effectively on immediate tasks without the constant worry of forgetting something important. Superscript 2. This strategy is particularly useful in reducing the tunneling effect, where the mind becomes narrowly focused on urgent needs at the expense of broader goals. Mullainathan and Shafir also highlight the importance of simplifying decision-making processes. For instance, a person living in poverty might face numerous complex financial decisions daily. By simplifying these decisions, such as automating bill payments or setting up direct deposits, she can reduce the cognitive load and avoid decision fatigue. This simplification helps to prevent the mental exhaustion that often accompanies scarcity, enabling her to make better decisions and improve her financial stability. The authors also discuss the role of social support in mitigating the effects of scarcity. Imagine a community where neighbors regularly help each other with childcare, transportation, and other daily tasks. This social support network can significantly reduce the cognitive load on individuals, allowing them to manage their resources more effectively. By sharing responsibilities and providing mutual aid, community members can create a buffer against the stresses of scarcity. This collective approach not only alleviates individual burdens but also fosters a sense of solidarity and resilience. Lastly, Mullainathan and Shafir emphasize the importance of long-term planning and goal setting. They recount the story of a small business owner who, despite financial constraints, sets aside time each week to plan for the future. By focusing on long-term goals and breaking them down into manageable steps, he can navigate the challenges of scarcity more effectively. This forward-thinking approach helps to counteract the tunnel vision that scarcity often induces, enabling him to make strategic decisions that benefit his business in the long run. Through these narratives, Mullainathan and Shafir illustrate that while scarcity imposes significant challenges, there are practical strategies to mitigate its effects. By creating slack, using external aids, simplifying decisions, leveraging social support, and focusing on long-term planning, individuals can reduce the cognitive load of scarcity and improve their overall well-being. Chapter 6, Conclusion. In the conclusion of Scarcity, Why Having Too Little Means So Much, Sendhil, Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir synthesize their findings and offer a compelling narrative on the broader implications of scarcity. They emphasize that scarcity is not just a lack of resources but a powerful force that shapes our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions in profound ways. One of the key takeaways is the concept of the scarcity trap. Imagine a low-income family struggling to make ends meet. Every month, they face a series of urgent financial decisions, paying rent, buying groceries, covering medical expenses. This constant juggling act creates a tunnel vision, where immediate needs overshadow long-term planning. The authors explain that this tunnel vision is a direct result of the cognitive load imposed by scarcity, which limits the family's ability to think beyond their immediate crises. This scarcity trap perpetuates a cycle of poverty, as the family is unable to invest in opportunities that could improve their situation in the long run. Mullainathan and Shafir also highlight the psychological toll of scarcity. They recount the story of a sugarcane farmer in India who experiences significant cognitive fluctuations based on his financial situation. Before the harvest, when money is tight, the farmer's cognitive performance is impaired, leading to poor decision-making. After the harvest, when he has more financial resources, his cognitive abilities improve. This example illustrates how scarcity can directly impact mental capacity, leading to a vicious cycle where poor decisions exacerbate the effects of scarcity. The authors argue that understanding the psychology of scarcity is crucial for designing effective policies and interventions. They provide the example of a financial aid program that simplifies the application process for low-income students. By reducing the cognitive load associated with applying for aid, the program increases the likelihood that students will complete the application and receive the support they need. This approach recognizes that the cognitive burden of scarcity can be a significant barrier to accessing resources. In their conclusion, Mullainathan and Shafir also discuss the importance of creating slack or buffers in our lives. They suggest that policies and programs should aim to provide individuals with a margin of safety, whether it be financial, temporal, or social. For instance, a savings program that automatically deducts a small amount from each paycheck can help individuals build a financial buffer, reducing the cognitive load associated with financial scarcity. This buffer can provide the mental space needed to make better decisions and break the cycle of scarcity. Through these narratives, the authors underscore the importance of addressing the root causes of scarcity rather than just its symptoms. They advocate for a holistic approach that considers the cognitive and psychological impacts of scarcity, and they call for policies that create opportunities for individuals to escape the scarcity trap. By understanding and addressing the underlying mechanisms of scarcity, we can develop more effective solutions to help individuals and communities thrive. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.